What's going on, people? It's your boy Logan.
What's going on, chaps? It's Jake.
¿Qué pasó, Sling?
Another episode, another week, another episode for the boys. Some interesting action over the weekend and the midweek for the Big Six. And let's jump right into it. Well, but before we jump right into it, gotta ask y'all, what y'all boys get into this weekend?
Oof, I got to think about that. What did I do this weekend?
PG version, Sling.
Yeah. I think I once again worked out. Had this weekend off. Actually, I worked Saturday, and then Sunday I had probably one of the worst days off in a while because everybody and their mother had to work. So like I hit up so many people, and it was like, I'm at work, I can't do anything. So it was probably the most boring day off I've had in a while. But other than that, it was a chill weekend.
Loser. What did I
You have
do?
some fun over the weekend, son?
Yeah. I mean, Saturday I went to a birthday party. My birthday's actually coming up next weekend. We play Arsenal, or we play
Nobody really cares
Burnley.
about that.
Yeah.
Arsenal will find a way to ruin that. They'll probably lose. Start off your birthday in the wrong way with an L.
I mean, after 21, it's all downhill anyway. So she'll be 22 next Saturday. Or this upcoming Saturday. So yeah, I'm sure they will. And then Sunday I had a date. Third date with this lovely young woman I've been talking to. That went well. So yeah, it's a good weekend.
How well did it go?
Very well.
That's what's
I'll
up.
leave it at that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, mine was pretty bland. Worked a local soccer tournament on a Saturday. Watch some of the young fellows. Young
Baby
boys.
Tuchel? Yes, sir.
I wasn't coaching. I was just kind of watching, but watched some soccer over the weekend. Not just Premier League, but also some real life youth soccer. And then yesterday, just kind of hung out, watched Arsenal play, and got some schoolwork done. So the usual.
I bet there was some very promising talent out there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll say sure.
Oh god,
It was fun stuff.
The next group of American greats right out there on that destined pitch.
absolutely.
All right, let's go ahead and just jump right into the action. Starting off in the Big Six with Liverpool. They were the only team this past week from the Big Six that only played one game. They played their game yesterday against Sheffield United, able to come out with a 2-0 W, and yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward. They were probably good for that win. Sheffield United caused them a couple problems, but overall they were definitely deserving. Controlled the game for the most part, and they were able to get their 2 goals in the second half to get their first win in the Premier League. I believe it was in 4 games. I think they had taken 4 straight L's in the Premier League, and so that was a good win for them. It was either 4 straight L's or 4 straight L's at home. But yeah, good win for them.
I was about to say, I think it was more than 4 L's in a row, but yeah, I think it was 4 at home.
That's 4 L's.
Yeah. But well, that's 4 L's.
Yeah, their last 5, they've won 1 and then lost 4 before that. So not good for them. They needed to get back going if they wanted a real chance at top 4. Obviously, title charge for them is gone. Even their manager Klopp has admitted to that, and so yeah. But the W gets them back into top 4 contention. They are just 2 points off of West Ham, who are sitting in 4th right now. And then you got a bunch of teams around them like Leicester, Chelsea, Everton, even that are kind of challenging for that top 4 spot.
They're 5 points off of West Ham and 3 off of Chelsea.
No, they aren't. They have 43.
Oh shit! I need to probably.
You must have like a non-updated.
Shit. Yeah, you're right.
Hey Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sitting at 43 points. West Ham have 45. But yeah, they get a W against. I mean, if you want any chance of making top 4, you got to be able to beat the worst team in the league, so that they get a much needed W there, and see if they can kind of propel themselves back into that top 4 race.
It's nice and tight at the top.
Moving on to a team that played, a couple teams that played in the Champions League this week before playing at the weekend in the Premier League, and start off with a big win for Chelsea. And well, it wasn't technically in Madrid because it was a neutral site, but a big away leg in quotations win for the Blues.
Yeah, no, it's definitely huge to have that 1 goal aggregate going into our second leg. For the most part, the game wasn't too eventful. I thought we controlled possession very well, neutralized Suarez. Really, there weren't too many times where I was afraid that Madrid was going to score. And then Giroud's goal. Oh my God, that was beautiful. At first, I thought they were going to take it away. I was very scared, but we needed that one, and he came up clutch for us with that disgusting bicycle.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure you could show your kid, like in 15 years or so, a highlight, Olivier Giroud highlights, and they'd think he's the greatest player of all time just because of the crazy goals that he scored. He scored a bike kick he scored obviously for Chelsea against Madrid. He scored it for Arsenal a few years ago. He had that insane scorpion kick back in, I think, 2017 for Arsenal. He scored some crazy goals.
Yeah.
And if you just saw a highlight video of him, you'd think he's the GOAT up there with Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah, but then you put him in a race against an obese child, and it'd probably be pretty close.
That's honestly being generous to me. But yeah, a good win for Chelsea. Obviously, I would have preferred Atletico Madrid to win just from a rival standpoint, but I really do not like Atletico Madrid. The way they play football is just dreadful. They have great players like Suarez, João Felix, Koke.
Cocaine.
They have Saul. They have some really, really quality players, and yet they just decide to play this negative football. It reminds me almost a little bit of Burnley, except they don't have Burnley caliber players. They have big club caliber players. And I'm never upset to see them lose. That kind of shows the level in La Liga this season that they're at top of that table.
João Felix played in that game?
Couldn't tell. I guess.
Could not tell.
But yeah, so Chelsea big win, even more important, an away goal. I don't really understand why they're doing away goals, to be honest, when there's just 2 neutral site games. But I guess they're just kind of keeping it consistent.
We'll take it.
But always good to get as long as you can get an away goal and not just get – as long as you can get an away goal and not lose in the away leg, that's good. But then to get a W on top of that, that's puts them in a real good spot. We'll see how the second leg goes. Obviously, Atletico Madrid are now going to actually have to come out and attack. They'll have to score 2 goals if they want to progress. So maybe Simeone will take off the handbrake and they'll give it a go. I'm not sure. Is the second leg being played in London, or is it being played at a neutral site as well?
That is a good question.
Because I would have figured it'd just be a neutral site, but I know like United, they played Sociedad in the Europa League, and they played their away leg at a neutral site, but then they played their home leg.
Stamford Bridge.
Okay, that's weird. I guess so. Like English teams can't go into Spain, but Spain teams can go into England. I guess that's how that works. But yeah, big win for the Blues, and then they move on. Speaking of United, who drew 0-0 with Real Sociedad to push through to the round of 16 in the Europa League. They faced off against Chelsea at the weekend with another 0-0 draw.
Good God.
Yeah.
I like just the way even with Atletico, the way Man United plays.
It's kind of similar game styles.
It's like they're playing not to lose instead of playing to win. Which is so fucking annoying to watch. Yeah. And I'm guessing it's probably annoying to play against as well. I mean, God, it was just so frustrating to watch. And honestly, if I'm being honest, we had 2, maybe 3 really good chances to put the ball in the back of the net, and we couldn't. That one save by De Gea on Ziyech's shot, that should have been our one that at least gave us the win right there. But I mean, he kicked it right at De Gea, and De Gea had a strong hand to it and didn't let it go in. Giroud's missed header that went wide, that should have gone in. He usually scores those. He's really good at headers, and he's a super aerial threat. And then there was one more opportunity. I think there was a cross to Timo.
Oh yeah, near the end. And that was a really good ball. It was pretty good defending.
Lindelof had
I don't know how the ref they signaled for a goal kick when it was clearly off of Lindelof. It was good defending by him.
Yeah. And it was Pulisic too when he had an open shot and he just skied it. Yeah. I mean, God, once again with his finishing, man. I don't know. He's iffy.
Yeah. That's now 7 games for Manchester United this season in the league against the Big 6 competition. They have scored 1 goal in those 7 games, and that 1 goal was in a 6-1 loss to Tottenham. So Their one goal was
And
in a
wasn't
game
it
that they got absolutely
Fernandez too?
destroyed. I think it was a penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like
I
Fernandez.
think it
that.
was Bruno.
That was,
Fernandez.
by the way, which that's another thing. I want to address that real quick. Bruno Fernandez now has one goal against the Big Six since he's been at Manchester United. I think he's played 10 plus games against the Big Six. And look, I'm not saying Bruno Fernandez is a bad player or anything. I think he's a really good player, but his one goal is a penalty. He hasn't scored from open play. I'm pretty sure he hasn't provided an assist in any of those games against the Big Six in the league. I mean, at what standpoint? I mean, United fans, when I say he's the best in the league and oh, he's so fantastic. I mean, you've got to start performing in big games. You can't just stat pad against Burnley and Fulham and those type of teams. So he, once again, I mean, he didn't. I watched the whole game. He didn't really do anything. United really didn't do anything the entire time. It was pretty much Chelsea controlling the game. But even with Chelsea controlling the game, they really weren't they weren't just taking it to United. The first half was dreadful. The first half was absolutely horrible. I was watching. We have Lee Dixon, who's one of the commentators here on NBC Sports here in the States, and he was the entire first half was just. He was almost getting angry at how both teams were.
Angry. He was fed the fuck
how
up.
both teams were basically just like, yeah, I just don't want to lose. I don't really feel like going for this win. But yeah, 0-0 result. I don't know who that's a better result for. I think it's just a bang average, even borderline, like not great result for both teams. I guess if you want to look at it, it's probably better for United because they are in second, and technically it was on the road at Stamford Bridge. But I mean, when you add up all these 0-0, that's their fifth 0-0 draw against Big Six competition, and they have a 6-1 loss and then a 1-0 loss. So, I mean, they've got to start showing something against these bigger teams.
I think they're just satisfied. I think they're satisfied with just staying in the top four right now. I think that's
they play so negative against teams that they think are good enough to beat them.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's another criticism of Ole that I saw a lot of United fans getting upset about that as well. But yeah, so
I want to add to that too. I know I sent in our group chat the video of him complaining about them not getting a penalty for the iffy handball that Hudson Odoi had in the box, and how refs are being influenced by outside opinions that Man United has been getting all these penalties. Well, there's truth to that. Your team has literally been getting penalties all fucking year, and a lot of those have bailed you out of games that you either should have tied or possibly lost if you didn't get that penalty. And I mean, I was looking at the replay of it, and Hudson Odoi wasn't trying to hit the ball with his hand. He was, jostling for position against, I think it was Mason Greenwood. Yeah. And it's like it just happened to touch his hand as he's fighting for position, and that's why they didn't call it.
Well, my take on it too is I don't like either team. I don't like Chelsea. I don't like Manchester United. So it comes from a non-biased opinion. You can see Mason Greenwood kind of push. He almost pushes Odoi's arm into the ball.
Yeah.
So I don't see how. Now, if Greenwood didn't do that, if Greenwood's arm wasn't underneath Cho's arm pushing it up towards the ball, then I would probably say, yeah, it should be a penalty. But I mean, you can make a very good argument that he was pushing his arm upwards towards pushing Callum Hudson-Odoi's arm into the ball. So I think they got that decision right. And yeah, boring 0-0 draw. It's not really the type of games you look forward to as a neutral. When obviously you see a game like Chelsea United on the schedule, and you're like, okay, yeah, this could be a fun watch. But it wasn't. And yeah, United stay second place. Now 12 points behind City. We already know that's a foregone conclusion pretty much. But they are 5 points clear, or really 6 points clear of fifth place Chelsea, and that's really what they've got to worry about now is securing top four, and then Chelsea, that's their goal as well. They've got to move into the top four.
Yep.
So, like Chelsea, Manchester City, they played in the Champions League earlier in the week, also coming out with a W against Borussia Mönchengladbach. 2-0 straightforward win. That was Gladbach's home leg. So City get 2 big away goals. I'm pretty sure that tie is just about finished. I don't see any situation where Gladbach go to the Etihad and or whether it's at a neutral side, I'm not sure. I don't see any situation where they're able to score 3 goals on City and then City scored none or 1 and go through. They pretty much dominated that game. I thought it was honestly I kind of respected the way that Gladbach played. I've seen some teams in the Premier League against City that just play terrified of them. Like they're just terrified of what they'll do to you if you push too many numbers forward. And Gladbach for spurts in that game did try to take it to City, tried to attack. They just nothing came off from it. And a pretty straightforward 2-0 win for City in that game. And then they followed it up at the weekend, keeping their winning streak going. I believe that's 20 straight wins for them. Pep Guardiola's largest win streak ever as a manager, and then it continues to grow. A 2-0 or 2-1 win against West Ham. They got the first goal. West Ham then equalized, but then City were able to score through John Stones to go up 2-1. The center back pairing scored. Diaz got the first one, which, oh my God, that ball by Kevin De Bruyne on Diaz's first goal. That's just with his left foot too. He doesn't have a weak foot. It's like FIFA. He's got 5-star weak foot.
Yeah, and United wants to claim that Penandes is better than KDB.
It's embarrassing.
Fuck. Not even
close. Entire fucking United. Fuck United. Yeah. Fuck you.
Honestly, bro, they're getting up there with Tottenham on how much I just fucking despise them.
It's delusion. Glory Hunter fan base. They're deluded as hell. But yeah, 2-1 win. They continue their run going, and as we said on this podcast, they've pretty much wrapped up the title. They're
it's a done deal.
Now they're just planning to stay in form, stay in shape for the Champions League, and then obviously, I mean, you don't want something crazy to happen and start dropping a bunch of games in the league, but they just can try to continue to build on that 20-game win streak as they move into next week. So then let's switch over to the Europa League. We already touched on Manchester United. Now let's get into Spurs, who they won 8-1 on aggregate against Wolfsberger from Austria. Got the 4-0 victory in their home leg. Pretty much easy work. They're just too much for Wolfsberger. Wolfsberger really don't even look like they deserve to be on the same pitch. I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful here, but I really feel like if Wolfsberger played in the Premier League, they might get relegated. So just not a good side. And then Spurs follow up that 4-0 victory against Wolfsberger with a 4-0 victory against Burnley over the weekend. As we were
juggernauts of opponents, those two games.
Yeah. As an Arsenal fan, we enjoyed our move ahead of them in the table for about 30 minutes until Tottenham Bale scored within like the first 10 minutes of the game to put them ahead of Burnley. And yeah, they played. I thought Bale looked pretty good. Turned it back in time for that game. Who knows?
Bale,
who knows if he'll keep it up? But yeah, that's got to be promising signs. If you're a Spurs fan, you got to be excited about a guy like Bale putting in that kind of performance.
What if you're a Spurs fan? Fuck you.
That's true.
Respectfully, fuck you.
Respectfully. But yeah, it's a pair of 4-0 W's. I'm sure anybody will take that. And then let's move on to last but not least from the previous week, and we're going to take our time with this one. The Arsenal. They two really big results during this week, and we'll chop it up in two halves. Let's obviously first talk about the Benfica game, the 3-2 win. We looked like we were out of it, and then shockingly, I'm used to these situations as an Arsenal fan. I had no hope. I was kind of, as soon as that second goal went in for Benfica, I was like, oh, well, we're doing this again. And I had no hopes or dreams of us making it through. But hey, the boys surprised me. They pushed through, and they got the W.
The fuck was Danny Ceballos thinking?
Yeah, that was his worst game in an Arsenal shirt. That was
number
one. Well, I mean, the free kick that he gave away right before halftime, the guy is literally about to dribble straight into, I think it was Xhaka and Gabriel. Yeah. He was about to dribble straight into them. He wasn't going anywhere. And Ceballos just sticks out a leg and fouls him on like a couple minutes before halftime. They're in a perfect spot for a free kick. And it was a hell of a free kick. I don't think the dude's going to hit another free kick like that in his lifetime.
That made me come. That was crazy.
That's kind of weird, especially considering it's the opposing team.
I had to show my respect.
But yeah, it was a perfect free kick. Nothing Leno could do about it. They said that was that dude's first goal for the club as well. So that's brilliant. Of course, he gets that against us. Just like John Matinho scoring the goal of his life after not scoring for 2 years against us a few weeks ago. But then, yeah, that second goal, dude, oh my God. I'm so happy we don't have to sit here and just like go off on him because we were able to get the win. But I know what he's thinking. He's thinking he can pull a fast one and just head it back to
No, he
Leno.
wasn't thinking. That's the
No,
problem. He wasn't thinking. Motherfucker heads it backwards at our fucking goal. What is he doing?
well, the guy is right behind him, running in through. And then the guy gets a touch on it. Leno, it's kind of a heavy touch, and I've seen some people blame Leno, which I don't
What?
understand. They like saying, "Oh, he shouldn't have came off his line." Well, he was already off his line in that situation because he's not expecting Ceballos to have a shitty a fuck up in that
stroke.
situation. And then he's off his line. The guy takes a heavy touch. I mean, if Leno was a step quicker, he would have been able to clear it. I don't blame him at all for that.
It's not his fault.
Yeah, but yeah, Ceballos, that was his last. I think it was his last touch of the ball in the game. And then Partey came on for him.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to know who else came on in that situation?
It was Willian, wasn't it?
Yep. Your guy, Willian de Borges.
I mean, he's a Chelsea great. What can I say?
Thank you, Chelsea.
He escaped.
Thank you, Chelsea.
He escaped.
Willian comes on, bro. I'm telling you right now, I was yelling at my computer. I have been on here many times saying that I support Mikel Arteta. I see something happening. I'm going to trust in the process. When he brought on Willian over Pepe, over Martinelli, even over Lacazette, I said right there, I was like, if we lose this game now, I don't give a shit if he gets sacked. I'm not going to say sack him because I don't want to just completely switch up like that, but I wouldn't have given a shit if they decided to sack him, which they wouldn't have done regardless. But I was so mad when they brought on Willian, and little do we know, Mikel Arteta showed some balls with that substitution because he must have known that hey, if I bring on Willian in this situation and he has a shitty performance, we don't end up winning the game, then everyone is going to give Arteta a stick, and he brought him on, put trust in him, and he came in and he played really well in that 30 minutes and helped us come back.
Yeah,
the man remembered he was Brazilian.
I saw that.
Yeah, and then he came out against Leicester too, and put up a good performance. Definitely, this past week, definitely his best week at the club all around. So.
Before we get into Leicester, that comeback against Benfica, I saw people saying they were trying to not credit Willian for that assist because they were saying, oh, all he did was just pull it back to Tierney, and then Tierney had everything to do. I don't understand that because what you've seen in so many situations like that and what so many players will do in that situation when, okay, we're down, we have to score 2 goals in the next 25 minutes. Let's just whip a ball into the box. Let's just hope that somebody gets on the end of it, hope somebody gets their head on it, or maybe an own goal, something crazy will happen. What he did, he got his head up. He saw Tierney in some space in the box, and he slid it to him. And then Tierney, I mean, that finish, future captain in my opinion. What do you think about that, Sling?
That shot from Tierney was fucking fire. Holy shit!
That the little kind of even like a little bit of a fake to the right, and then cut it back on his left foot.
Just the way he
and then that finish, I mean, that was a striker's finish. He freaking drilled that right into the bottom corner. And then I love that reaction from him as soon as he scored. He's yelling at his teammates to get the ball and get back to the halfway line. In my opinion, I want to see him as a captain of the club in the future. I think he has the right mentality. I think he leads by example on the pitch, and he also seems like he'll use his voice when needed, like in that situation as well. And he kind of helped dig us out of a hole, and then the 2 guys, the young kid, 19-year-old Bukayo Saka, who was playing right back at the time, because we just decided to put on a bunch of, we had to go for it in the last 5-10 minutes. And he got up the pitch. I believe it was Odegaard that passed it out wide to him, and he made space for a cross and just a freaking beautiful dink into the back post. And Aubameyang did what he does best. He gets in those situations and he puts away those chances. And it was really, I mean, Willian came on and helped a lot, but it was those 3 guys that kind of changed the tie for us: Aubameyang, Saka, and Tierney, and 3 of our best players, and they stood up in the.
Don't disrespect Willian. Put him in there.
They stood up in the. It was the biggest moment of the season, and they stood up and they clutched it up, and that was a massive win for Arsenal, just to keep the season alive. And then we move on to the weekend, and they kind of, well, I would say they built on that momentum, but they kind of had a fuck up early in the game. Xhaka, for some reason, passes it in Willian, when a dude's like right on him, Willian's not able to seal the guy off, and the guy steals it, and then Tiamens gets the ball and just dribbles 40 yards. I don't know what Pablo Mari, I don't know what Muhammad El Nini are doing. There was 3 guys, them plus David Luiz. They were all on Vardy, and no one stepped up on Tiamens, and he's like, okay, and just kept dribbling into the box. He slid it past Leno, got the 1-0 advantage in that. I think it was like the 7th minute of the game. Once again, another early goal. We concede them, and we've done it. How many times have we done? We did it against City. We did it against Leicester. We did it against Aston Villa, and we did it against Southampton, all in like the past month, where we gave up a goal within like the first 10 minutes of the game. So that I really hope that is discontinued in the immediate future. Because once again, that's another example of, I mean, that's not a team beating you. That's you beating yourself. That's just a mistake. 2 mistakes: the bad pass by Xhaka, and then nobody coming over to pick up Tielemans on the run. But we turn it around. I thought Nicolas Pepe and Willian were brilliant in that match. Willian turned back the time. He actually looked like he had his pace back in that game. It's like, so I've been saying this before, and kind of like, oh yeah, I feel like that Willian has just kind of lost his pace. He's getting older and doesn't really have his pace anymore. And then all of a sudden that game, he looked quick, he looked fresh, he looked lively. He was dribbling past guys, making little 1-2s with other players. And then Pepe, he showed the difference of what he can do when he has a fullback on his side that actually combines with him in the attacking third. Yeah, I think I saw a stat that said that against Manchester City, Pepe and Bellerin combined 7 times in that game. And then against Leicester City, Cedric and Pepe combined 31 times. And I remember because obviously we've seen Pepe over the past month or so look really good on the left-hand side of the attacking forwards. And we were like, okay, maybe that's just his position. And then now that you come to think of it, maybe he's just good wherever he is, as long as he has a fullback that'll overlap and attack with him. Because you want to know who was on that left side with him? It was Cedric, because Tierney was out and Cedric had to play over there on that left side, which I'm sure Tierney would have done the same thing. But he was on that left side with Cedric, and then he comes back over to the right side. He's got Cedric again to help him out instead of Bellerin, and it's just night and day. I think Cedric's end product in that game was really poor. But his combination with Pepe really opened up a lot of opportunities for him, and he was such a threat that Leicester started a younger kid at left back in that game, because James Justin he tore his ACL a week or so ago and is out for the season, and they had to take that dude off because he was on a yellow card at halftime, and he honestly could have been sent off. He didn't get a yellow card before that he probably should have gotten for 1-4. And so, yeah, they took him off because they knew the writing was probably on the wall in that respect. But yeah, Willian with a great ball into David Luiz to tie it up at 1-1. A nice free kick routine. We hired a set piece specialist, or like a set piece coach, and I had seen nothing that had like told me that he's earning his wages until that. That was a nice little routine to get a free header for Luiz, about 7-8 yards out. And then Pepe, a shot from outside the box. I don't know what Wilfred Ndidi is doing. Hits his arm. He just has his arm extended. We get a handball. Lacazette steps up. I will say, I think Aubameyang is our penalty taker at the club. But if Lacazette and Aubameyang are playing at the same time, I would rather Lacazette take penalties. I feel like when he steps up to the spot, there is no doubt in my mind that he's going to score. He's not missed a single penalty while he's been at Arsenal. This is his 4th season. He's never missed a penalty at Arsenal. So he just he hits them so emphatically, and they're always in the corner. Even if the goalkeeper guesses the right way, it would take a hell of a save to save him. So we took the 2-1 lead there, and then in the second half, it was Lacazette again that kind of helped start the attack. He outmuscled 6'4" Johnny Evans. Little 5'8" Lacazette outmuscled him, and he got the ball to it might have been Xhaka, and then Xhaka passed it to Pepe, who dribbled forward, and he combined with Odegaard, who flipped it in. Beautiful little flick into Willian, who pulled it back to Pepe for an absolutely world-class finish on an open goal from 2 yards out. But a great team goal, and that kind of stood up the game, and we pretty much we held it down from there. 3-1 victory. Like I've said, I don't really see us doing much in the league. If you look at the table right now, 7th place will likely get you Europa League football this season. and we're 4 points off of 7th place. Or no, excuse me, we're 6 points off of 7th place. So that's not like out of the reach. And I mean, 4th place is only 8 points away. I don't think we're going to get there, but I mean, if you're looking at it from a mathematical standpoint, there is still a shot. So I mean, keep the momentum going in the league. I mean, go for it. You might as well try and win every single game you play. Even if we were sitting at 15th, you might as well still try and win every single game you play. So,
4th place,
a big win for the boys. Leicester, after going out to Molde in the Europa League, which is a horrible loss. Molde were in Arsenal's group, and they were not a good team at all. So they're kind of on the downward spiral right now. They're dealing with a lot of injuries. Obviously, I said James Justin got injured. James Madison is now out injured. Harvey Barnes got injured in that game. Didn't look like a good one. It was one of those like innocuous non-contact injuries, which are normally never that good. And they've got a few other guys out as well. Fofana, I believe, their young center back, he's out too. And so Leicester, yeah, they had a chance to go up to second yesterday, but with the loss, they stay in third. Now everyone's kind of just waiting. Are they going to do their usual late season collapse and fall out of the top four like they did last year, where they were in the top four for pretty much the whole season until the last day when they dropped points and Manchester United were able to jump them into the top four. But yeah, really good week overall for the Gunners. It's just nice when you haven't had a good season and yet you can put in a week like that. Please, more weeks like that. Please, Arsenal.
More cowbell.
I don't know about that one. All right, so with that being, I believe yesterday was the end of the month, Sling. What does that mean? I believe you might have had some kind of comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. Our final score update from our last month of picks saw Logan taking the victory for the month. Congratulations, Logan.
Congratulations.
Logan had 22 points, and close behind him in second place was none other than yours truly, myself. I finished with 21 points. And in the last place, none other than the po-ass Jake, who Logan and I are clear of at picking at this point. He finished with a whopping 20 points.
Yo, it came down to the last game.
You
got the score. You got the Sheffield United and Liverpool score exactly correct.
Yep, 2-0.
And that was the difference.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of that was a crazy month. I did not expect it to be that close. Yeah. We'll see how this upcoming month goes, but yeah, that was a.
It was a great month.
I'm happy to come out on top. Finish.
It's a great month.
It was a grandstand finish.
They say if you ain't first, you're last, but I'm just glad that I didn't finish in last because Jake is going to have a nice little punishment coming up soon. We'll think of that for him. Even if he doesn't want to do it, we're going to force him to do it.
We're thinking swimming with sharks.
Can I just say
eating ghost pepper.
That we started these picks not knowing that there would be a punishment for the loser.
I said that.
And now that there is a loser, they're like, oh yeah, let's give him the spiciest chip challenge. Like, hold the fuck on a second.
I'm sorry, did we not bring punishment like 3 weeks ago?
On the
I was like a month ago, actually. I said it first episode.
Yeah,
first episode. And Jake had to be a little cocksucker and pick against Arsenal in the first episode, and that ended up coming back to bite him.
It's amazing.
All I'm saying is
absolutely amazing how Jake is trying to flip the script now.
Look, I'm just saying, we didn't set what the punishment would be.
Hey,
we also didn't even start off with there being a punishment for the loser.
Logan, do you remember Jake saying that receipts would be kept?
I think I do remember that.
He said, and I quote, "Receipts will be kept. Receipts are being kept." And Jake is going to crumble them up.
That was one of y'all fuckers.
No.
That was definitely one of y'all fuckers.
I think like maybe one of us can get a paintball gun and shoot like a clip into Jake's back.
Fucking eat that shit.
I think I'm gonna fucking drive his truck off a fucking bridge.
Yeah, that sounds fair too.
Yeah.
For sure.
I feel like it's a punishment for me because I lose my truck, but you're probably gonna fucking die. So
I'm gonna live.
I feel like it's also a punishment for you.
Hey, just make sure you have the window rolled down so you can climb out.
It's gonna be a shallow bridge. I'm just gonna like put a brick in there. I'm not gonna be in the car when it happens. Something like that.
You're gonna bail like as soon as it's about to go off the bridge. Just bail out the truck on some GTA shit.
Put in a driving game.
Well, let's see. We'll see who comes out on top this upcoming month.
It won't be Jake.
Oh my god. Buddy, I can't wait till you lose by like 5.
The first annual, well, not annual, first monthly champion falls to yours truly. What an honor it has been. This is the time of the podcast where we take a break from the Premier League action before we get into the upcoming games and previews. We check in on our national team boys with our U.S. men's national team rundown.
Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and let's kick it off in France. We got Timothy Weah was looking good in his game. Unfortunately, Lille gets knocked out of the UEL by Ajax. Plus an off-the-bench appearance over the weekend in a draw for Lille versus Strasbourg. They still do remain atop of the League One.
Yep, 2 points, still 2 points clear of PSG. I was disappointed to see Lille get knocked out of the Europa League. Obviously, want our young national team players to get as much experience in Europe as they can. I thought Weah was probably one of their better players in that game, but they weren't able to come through against Ajax. Obviously, a tough matchup against Ajax.
I was about to say, out of all the matchups, I can understand that one happening.
Although I will say, if you're Lille and you are top of the French league, you probably should be beating an Eredivisie team, even though Ajax is a historically good team. But
Ajax is quality.
But yeah, they get bounced, and then two more national teamers, young national teamers, Brendan Aronson and Chris Richards, also got bounced from the Europa League.
Yeah, it's tough. A little tough week for a few of our US
all three of them that were in the Europa League are now no longer in it.
Yeah, so they got knocked out. Villarreal knocked out Aronson and RB Salzburg and Molde shockingly bounced Richards and Hoffenheim.
Yeah, that's a bad loss. Molde knocked out Hoffenheim and Richards, not Leicester. Earlier I said that Leicester got bounced by Molde, but they got bounced by Slavia Prague.
Which still, it's a bad result.
Yeah, not good at all. But yeah, so Molde bounce Hoffenheim, which is terrible. Molde are not good. They were in Arsenal's group. And even with how bad Arsenal had been this season, we had no problem with them over the 2 games. So
yeah, even though both of them got bounced, they both started in those games, which it's a good experience, playing in the Europa League. It's good for them.
They got a couple starts on the weekends as well for their clubs. Both of them they've kind of become like a couple of the first names on the team sheet. So that's good for them.
Yeah.
And yeah.
All right. Yeah, we got Sargent starts and scores the winning goal for Werder Bremen against Frankfurt in a huge 2-1 victory.
Big win for them.
Yeah, big win for them. Good for Josh Sargent too. God, it's so hard to say
really
fast.
Is.
But he's kind of had a drought because Werder Bremen they're not really that good, and a striker can only do so much to score. He can sometimes create an opportunity for himself, but a lot of the times it comes through other players setting up an opportunity for him.
He's there to finish him off, not create it and finish it.
Absolutely, and the fact that Jill,
big pause.
The fact that he finally got a goal, that's good. He definitely needs that. Staying in the Bundesliga, we'll go over to Tyler Adams. He helped Leipzig overcome a 2-0 deficit versus Gladbach to win 3-2 in the Bundesliga to keep reach of Bayern Munich at the top of the table.
Yeah, I saw. I didn't watch it live, but I saw highlights of it, and they were down 2-0, and I think they scored in like the 93rd minute to eventually end up taking the 3-2 victory, and they're staying within reach of Bayern. They're only 2 points back, which being 2 points ahead of Bayern is still like you feel like you're not going to win the league. So 2 points back is it feels like bigger than 2 points. But theoretically, if they go in, I'm not sure if they played Bayern again before the season are over with. But if they do, that could end up deciding the title. And they're just going to sell one of their best young players to Bayern at the end of the season.
Yeah, fucking genius move.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll stay in the Bundesliga. We'll go over to Hoppy. Starts for Schalke, but they get destroyed 5-1 by Stuttgart. Schalke are unfortunately almost certainly getting relegated at this point.
They have 9 points after 23 games. The closest to them is 17 points. So they are 9 points away from safety. So if they could magically put something together, I believe there's only you only play 34 games in the Bundesliga in a season. It's not 38 like the Premier League because they have 2 less teams. But if they could, it would take a miracle at this point. And then I wonder what that's going to do for his future. I don't know if he'd go down with them or if maybe he'd get sold off to another team. I wouldn't be against him going down with them just because, he really just broke through as a professional a couple months ago. Schalke are historically a big club, so you would fancy them to get back up.
Yeah.
So if he went down, I wouldn't be against him going down with him. But they've got a lot of problems. They barely survived last season. Obviously, that's where Weston McKennie was before he made his move to Juventus, and now Hoppy there. But yeah, that
man needs to escape poverty. He needs to get the fuck out of there.
They're looking like they're for sure going down at this point.
Yeah. Then we'll go over to John Brooks. I believe he gets a well-deserved rest over the weekend for Wolfsburg. He did receive a yellow
even though
card.
it wasn't it wasn't planned, but
hey, he deserves
a rest nonetheless.
Yeah, no, he ended up getting a yellow card, so he had to rest because of that suspension. Wolfsburg, however, continue their win streak with a 2-0 win over Brooks' old club, Hertha Berlin.
Yep, they're staying strong in third place in a Champions League spot. So that'd be cool. Hopefully they can keep it up. That was another clean sheet as well. They've kept 7 or 8 clean sheets in a row. They've got one of the best defenses in Europe right now. And we're giving the Wall of Brooks all the credit.
Wall of Brooks, baby. Even though it's literally only him. He plays defense. He plays in the goal.
He decided to coach that game. He didn't even need to be on the pitch. His presence was felt.
Yeah, no. He was just in the stadium, and they're like, holy fuck, we're not scoring.
We're still scoring, baby.
Yeah, then we go over to Gio Reyna. Started for Dortmund in a 3-0 win versus Armenia and had a goal disallowed due to an incorrect early whistle by the referee, failing to play advantage and instead giving a penalty kick, which they did end up putting in. But come on, man. You're going to take a goal away from our boy?
Yeah, you're supposed to in that situation as a ref. If there's an advantage, you wait to see if that advantage works out for him, and then you don't call a penalty kick then if they're able to put it away. But he blew his whistle too early. Like we saw in the Premier League. Did y'all catch that? The Brighton game over the weekend?
Yes.
Who were they playing? Were they playing Newcastle? Who were they playing?
Are you talking about was it when he
it was against West Brom. It was on Saturday. Yeah. Basically it wasn't the exact same situation, but it was with a ref and a whistle. And there was a free kick, and Dunk, the center back for Brighton, tried to take it early because he saw the whistle about to get blown, and once the ref blows the whistle, you can shoot. And at that time, the goalkeeper was still setting up his wall, and there was some debate over whether or not the ref blew his whistle or not. And he gave the goal originally, and then went to VAR and chopped it off. So that was another case of some complications with that, and. I know we're getting a little bit off track, but once again, Brighton have 71% possession and more than double the amount of shots as the team they played, and they lose. So rough for them.
What in the fucking FIFA shit is that?
Inadvertent whistles or lack thereof affecting not only the Premier League, but affecting our boys in the red, white, and blue at their clubs over the weekend in Germany.
Go figure, man. Anyways, we're going to leave Germany. We're going to go over to Italy. Check in on Weston McKennie. He makes a cameo off the bench for Juventus, who dropped 2 crucial points versus Verona in a 1-1 draw over the weekend. Yeah,
you can't drop those points. I think Inter Milan are now 10 points clear of them. I think they're only 4 points ahead of AC Milan, but Juventus are now 10 points back of Inter Milan, and they're with that squad, guys like Ronaldo and those. You should be at the top
first.
Yeah. And so I wonder how much longer Pirlo is gonna last. It kind of seems like that job may have been a bit too big for him as his first job. And yeah, unfortunate for Juventus. If you would have started Weston, you would have won. So
yep, honestly,
remember that next time.
Couldn't agree more. Let's leave Italy. We'll hop into Spain. Serginho Dest puts in one of his best performances of the season for Barcelona in a massive 2-0 win over Sevilla.
Yep, they. I believe that moved them in the second place in La Liga over Real Madrid. They're just behind Atletico Madrid. And yeah, after receiving a lot of unwarranted stick from last week over the whole PSG game and Mbappe situation, I don't watch the La Liga, but I watched some highlights and I saw a lot of fans really praising him for the performances that he put in against Sevilla. They said he was bombing up and down the right hand side, doing a lot of good work, especially in the attacking third. So a good performance for him, and hopefully he can build on that for the rest of the season.
Yep, we're gonna leave Spain, hop into Belgium. We actually haven't covered anybody in Belgium before.
Yeah, not really a lot of notable things.
But it's one of our boys in red, white, and blue, so we'll cover it. Matt Miazga, who used to be a promising defender for us, and we actually played him a lot.
I want to say he's still in the books at Chelsea. He might have gotten his full term move to Anderlecht, but I want to say he's still in the books at Chelsea, and he's just on loan. I don't think he'll ever play at Chelsea, but yeah, he's on loan right now at Anderlecht.
Yeah, but anyways, he started for Anderlecht in a big win over Standard Liège.
I think Liège, something like that.
One of those. And as Anderlecht look to propel themselves into the top four of the Belgian Pro League.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I actually just learned that when I was looking up some of these stats and performances, and the Belgian league is kind of different. They have what they call the playoffs 1 and the playoffs 2. So the top 4 teams go into playoffs 1, and basically whoever wins that plays in the Champions League next season. And then the playoffs 2, those 5 through 8 in the league, they play, and then whoever wins that plays in the Europa League the next season, or something to that extent. So they kind of have they have like a league season like normal, but then they kind of have like a playoff. It's kind of similar to the, I guess it's not really that similar to the MLS, but the fact they have playoffs is kind of interesting. So yeah, they're in 5th now, right behind 4th place, and they're trying to hopefully get into that top 4 so they can have a shot at playing for a potential Champions League spot next season.
Hey, that'd be cool if you could get it done. Isn't a Company the manager for that team too? Vincent Company?
I think so, yeah. Because that was his old. That's where he used to play as a. He's. I think he was. Wasn't he like a player coach role there when he left City at Anderlecht?
Maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, I know he's coaching there now.
Yeah,
he's either the head coach or assistant coach. He's one of the two. But yeah, so they're trying to get into the Champions League through that top 4 spot.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and leave Belgium. We're going to go into Turkey. Our boy DeAndre Yedlin starts and helps keep a clean sheet for Galatasaray and a victory over, this is going to be a tough one, Bayukshehir?
Bayukshehir, something like that.
One of those. And Galatasaray remain atop of the Turkish Super League table.
Yep, they 2 points clear of Besiktas, who are in 2nd place, and so hopefully they can win the league. I'm not exactly sure how that works. I know there's some, like in some of these smaller leagues across Europe, even if you win your league, I think there's still a chance that you might have to play like some qualifying rounds to get into Champions League.
Yeah.
But
makes sense.
Yeah.
And then we're going to leave Turkey, hop into England. Daryl Dike gets 2 appearances for Barnsley in the.
Dyke.
Jesus. Dike. Fucking child. God. He ends up getting 2 appearances for Barnsley in the championship as he helps them to 2 wins, including his first goal for the club in a 2-0 win over Stoke City.
Yeah, it was good to see him get off the mark and get his first goal for Barnsley, and it seems like he's a fan favorite. A lot of the fans like him, and so hopefully he can keep that going. Hopefully he makes a permanent move over there. Barnsley, they do have an outside chance. It looks like they could have a shot at making the championship playoffs. Obviously, the top 2 from the championship just immediately get promoted, and then the next 4 have like a home and away leg, semifinals, and then final. And they're in 7th right now, only 1 point behind Bournemouth. So if they were able to jump Bournemouth, they would get into those playoff legs.
They might be my new favorite in the championship league now too, since Jordan Morris probably isn't going to be coming back.
And then Ariola plays like 5 minutes a game.
Yeah, it's whatever with him. But no, Daryl Dike, he definitely looks like
you got to say his name correctly. DK.
Oh, Daryl DK. It looks like Dyke, man.
It does. That's how
You
it's
look at
spelled.
Dyke.
All right, motherfucker. I'll kick your fucking ass, buddy. All right.
Come and get it.
Anyways, we're gonna leave the Dyke, the DK, and we're gonna go over to Fulham. Anthony Robinson came off the bench to help Fulham secure a clean sheet and a point in a 0-0 draw versus Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I mean, for them, I'm sure they would probably be hoping for a little bit more from that game, but a point is never bad when you're trying to, like, at least for the most, at least not fall any further behind that safety in the Premier League. I'm looking at the table right now. They're still 3 points behind Newcastle. So a win would have been huge. They would have only been 1 point behind them, but they're also only 3 points behind Brighton that we brought up. It would be amazing. It would be incredible if Brighton got relegated. They have lost so many
I feel
games.
so bad.
They have lost so many games that they should not have lost this season. They should really be sitting like they should have at least 30 plus points right now. But it's almost like at this point with Brighton, you see the games that they lose and the games they don't win. It's like, is it kind of written in the stars for them at this point? So who knows? But yeah, Fulham and Anthony Robinson, they continue to fight and try and drag themselves out of that relegation zone.
We need him to come up, man. We need Anthony staying in the Premier League, baby. Then we're gonna hop away from Fulham, going to Chelsea. Pulisic with 2 appearances off the bench for Chelsea against Atletico and United. He is struggling to break into the starting 11 under Tuchel, though.
Yeah, I'm willing to give it till the end of the season, but I mean, if he's going to continuously not get any chances, I'm like ZX. He's done nothing to warrant starting, and he's starting now over Pulisic. I don't get it at this point. Tuchel, everybody figured when Tuchel came in, he's coached Pulisic before. He gave Pulisic his pro debut when he was 17 at Dortmund, and everybody just figured, he's going to be one of the main guys under Tuchel, and he's started 1 game, and that was the FA Cup game.
Yeah.
So I'll give it to the end of the season. I don't want to like completely overreact and just say right now, they got to sell him, move to a different club. But I'll give him to the end of the season. But if he's still struggling to because he's too good to not be starting, in my opinion. I know he's not had the greatest run of form this season, but like I said, Ziyech hasn't either, and yet he got to start at the weekend and a huge game against United while Pulisic is on the bench.
I don't know why Ziyech started that game.
I think one thing that doesn't help Pulisic too is that I just don't think the formation that Tuchel is trying to run fits him. Like when Tuchel was at Dortmund, he played a back 4. He had natural wingers and then a main striker, whereas at Chelsea right now he's playing a back 3 with wing backs, and Pulisic's not really a wing back. I know they've switched Hudson-Odoi to that spot, and I think Hudson-Odoi can probably play that, but I just don't think Pulisic. I don't think that's his game. And so right now they're not playing with any wingers, and that's where I feel like Pulisic is best. I can see him playing in that number 10 role, but whenever Tuchel brings him on, he plays him as a striker. And I don't think that's his. Striker. Yeah, he's not a fantastic finisher.
He uses his pace, he uses his really good dribbling, and he can find somebody in the box.
Yeah, that's
his thing.
He's not a guy that you're just going to expect to bag you a bunch of goals. He's more of like a guy that's involved in the build up and creating for other players as well. Mm-hmm. And then he'll get you some goals, but I don't think striker is his position.
Absolutely not.
So yeah, hopefully something turns around with him there at Chelsea.
Definitely love to have him stay there, but who knows?
Yep. So that's enough for the U.S. men's national team talk. Let's get back into our Big 6 Premier League talk. And we're going to preview some games, give our predictions as we start a new month of predictions. Everybody starts off fresh. 0-0-0 is the score. And yeah, let's get into it. We start off with City versus Wolves. They play, I believe, tomorrow. And for me, that is pretty straightforward. I know Wolves recently over past years, I think they even did the double over City last year, but that was with Raul Jimenez. Wolves haven't been as good this year. City have also been a lot better this season than they were last year, so I don't see any problem for Man City in that game. Man City are also at home, although with no fans, I don't know if that makes too much of a difference. But I will go for a 2-0 City victory.
Yeah, City's just unstoppable. They're on a roll. I don't see them losing. I don't see them drawing. I'm going to say City wins this 3-0.
Pretty straightforward here. City is the best team probably in the world right now. And I had 2-0 as well. Fuck Logan.
I say you're just trying to copy the champion. I respect it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Whatever
Let's
makes
get
you
on
feel.
to another team in Manchester United. They travel to Selhurst Park to take on Crystal Palace. I think this is a team that could give United problems. Will they? I'm not sure. What do you guys got for the game?
Dude, Man United, it's so hard to predict the score with them. You never know how they're going to fucking play or, what they're trying to do. Granted, it is Crystal Palace. They're not the best team in the Premier League.
They got danger guys, though, like
Yeah,
Saha and Eze and
they
guys like that.
do. And for that reason, I'm going to say Man United wins 1-0. Low scoring game, but I think they beat Crystal Palace.
But he says for that reason, then doesn't even give Crystal Palace a goal.
No, I think they keep it close. I just don't think they score.
I'll mix it up then. I was going to say 1-0, but I'll go 2-1 just because like you said, I do have some danger guys. So I don't know. Maybe Palace can put one past United, but I think United get the win. So I'll go 2-1.
Yeah, I kind of want to pick a draw in this game, but I feel like United will respond to 2 0-0 draws in a row against Sociedad and then Chelsea, and I think they probably will bounce back. I don't think Palace they got a win against Brighton recently, but it was the ultimate smash and grab. I think they literally had like 3 shots to Brighton's like 24, and they somehow got a win out of it in the last second. I don't think they're playing particularly well at this moment in time. So I'm going to go with a. I'm also going to say 2-1 United. I think Zaha or somebody like that might be able to get them on the score sheet.
Just copying the future champ, huh?
That doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it does.
All right, Spurs. Next, Spurs during the midweek on Wednesday, they travel to another London rival. They travel to Fulham. And I think Spurs are probably going to continue to ride that wave that they're on right now, as much as I would like them not to do that. Or excuse me, the game's on Thursday, not Wednesday. But I don't see Spurs dropping points here, in my opinion. I think they'll probably win. And I'm going to say they keep another clean sheet. I'm going to say a 2-0 victory for Spurs.
You motherfucker, man. You stay keeping my fucking or saying my scores. I'm also gonna go Tottenham winning that game. I don't see Fulham beating them as much as I would love for that to happen, and also help Fulham, get out of relegation. I don't see them winning. I don't even see them drawing. I'm also gonna go Tottenham 2-0.
Losers. I'm going Spurs 3-0. That's what it's going to be.
All right, and then the big game from the midweek, Liverpool and Chelsea play at Anfield. This is kind of a tough one for me because a part of me feels like this could be a time for Liverpool to make a statement in the league, especially if they really have plans on getting back into that top 4 race. But at the same time, I do not trust Liverpool at all. So I think that for me is saying that this is going to be a 1-1 draw.
Dude, okay. No, stop. Stop, dude. Literally, I fucking...
I'll let you pick the next game since apparently I'm just stealing all your results, even though you don't say anything.
Okay, well, I'm not going to, interrupt you. I
don't know that you're going to pick that score. I'm just built different.
Built for tough.
Well, now I don't want to pick that.
Well, how about you stop being a coward and pick your own team to win? If this was Arsenal playing Liverpool, I'd say 4-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, that's cap.
Cap and crunch, maybe.
I'm going to pick...
Don't care.
I guess I'm going to pick Chelsea winning this. I'm going to go Chelsea 1-0.
I'd be kind of salty if I just talked him into the correct scoreline. Sling, what you got?
I had a draw as well. I also do not really trust Liverpool at the moment, but I also don't think Chelsea are going to come out and put it on them. I'll go with a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, we're gonna put it on their face. I hope you know that.
No pause needed. All right, then we jump into the weekend with the only team that didn't have a game during the midweek. I don't really know why we don't, but we only put in the weekend this week. Arsenal, they go up against Burnley. And we've got to come away with that from that game with a victory. It's Burnley, even though it is, I believe it's an away match. It's like I said, it is Burnley. Got to keep some momentum going. That's the last game we have before we start our Europa League journey again. And yeah, like I said, I'll let Jake pick this game first.
Chicken, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think Burnley's looking really good. Psych! That's the wrong number. Arsenal's definitely winning this game. I don't even see this really being too much of a competition. I'm gonna go Arsenal 2-0.
Coward.
Sling, what you got?
As we all know, Arsenal play on my birthday this year. I'm turning the big 22.
Hey, y'all know that next Saturday is Sling's birthday? He's only mentioned it like 7 times. But
I've only mentioned it once. This is actually twice. So
you've only mentioned it once. This is actually
Oh, God.
All right, what do you got? What's the score?
No.
I don't give a shit about your fucking birthday.
Well, I'm not giving you my score prediction. I'll just put it down, and you guys can look at it later.
That is...
Holy fuck.
That is so dramatic. Give us your score prediction.
I'm going 4-0 Arsenal. Fuck
Jesus.
Holy fuck.
God damn. Because Arsenal have looked so freaking mistake prone recently,
Fuck you.
Jesus.
God damn. I'm sorry to anyone that's listening and has headphones on right now because that could have been really bad. But anyways, because Arsenal have been so mistake prone recently, I don't know how many games we give up. Like it seems like every single game we give up at least one goal from a mistake. So I will say Burnley might get on the score sheet, but I'm going to go with a 3-1 Arsenal dubia. Also Saturday, not quite as. Well, speaking of that, bro, Arsenal play at 6 a.m. every single weekend. This shit sucks. I have to wake up early as hell for every freaking game. But oh well, that's the price.
England time,
that's the price we. That's the price we pay. But Liverpool later in that day, they host Fulham. A tough run for Fulham, as we said earlier. They're trying to climb out of that relegation battle, and they have to play Spurs and Liverpool. To be granted, only one big club. You have a small club in Spurs, and then a big club in Liverpool.
Yeah.
But two teams that probably are not going to be too kind to Fulham. It's at Anfield. I know Liverpool have been struggling at Anfield recently, but I think that they will come out on top of that one as well with a 3-1 victory for Liverpool. Same result as Arsenal, Burnley.
Okay.
If you just pick 3-1 over and over again, you'll eventually get one right.
I'm gonna go. I don't see Fulham winning this game either, which sucks, man. They really need some points. I see Liverpool winning this. I will say I'm going to give Fulham the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to give them one goal, but I'm thinking Liverpool scores 2, so I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool.
I'm going Liverpool 4-0.
Damn, you going with the big boy score lines.
I think they're going to put it on them. That's what's going to be.
And then the biggest game from the weekend, one of the bigger games on the calendar, currently 1 versus 2.
The Manchester Derby.
Yep, Manchester Derby. Manchester City host Manchester United. I do not believe United will be keeping another clean sheet in this game.
Hell no.
But I do believe they will not score once again against the Big Six. I'm going to go with a 2-0 Manchester City victory.
Oh, man. I'm going to go... Actually, I'm thinking Man United because they're playing Man City. They're going to come out with some fire, which we haven't seen in a while.
And they're going to get hit on the counter 5 times, 5-0 victory for City.
I was thinking maybe 3-1, but I don't know, man. Part of me is wanting to go 2-1. I think...
What an amateur. Hurry up.
I think I'm going to go 2-1, Man City.
What
you got, Sling? You going over a big scoreline again?
No, I'm going to go 2-0 on this one.
7-0.
11-7. It's going to be a shootout. And I think City run away with it. No, I'm gonna go 2-0 on this one. City.
Not really any like bold predictions so far from us this week with these picks, except it changes now. We move on to Spurs. They play Crystal Palace. I think Palace are dangerous when they go to bigger clubs on the road because what they do is they'll sit back and they'll defend. They'll try and hit you on the counterattack. I think that's exactly what they do against Spurs, and I think that they get out of there with a 2-1 victory for Crystal Palace over Tottenham Hotspur.
You know, I think
I just had to spice it up there.
That's a spicy meatball.
I kind of want to pick a draw.
Add a little spice.
I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 2-2 or 1-1. I'm going to go 2-2 draw.
2-2 Atwell.
Okay.
No.
I'm going to say a 0-0 draw. There will be a
Accelerating stuff. I can see it, to be honest.
It's going to be an exciting game of football, a 0-0 draw.
Palace are going to sit back and defend. Spurs under Mourinho. Yeah, they sit back and defend a decent bit, too, so I honestly could see it. Even though they have been playing a little bit more attacking football lately. But let's move on to our last game of the weekend now, and it's actually not even on the weekend. Chelsea play Everton at noon on Monday, which will be before we record our next pod, so we'll get our prediction in. What are you thinking for that game, Jake?
All right. So you
got two big games this week.
Yeah, no, we lost to Everton earlier in the year. I watched that game from start to finish. God, it was a hard one to watch. I'm thinking that we remember that, and we're going to come out pissed off against Everton. And I'm saying Chelsea wins 2-1 because Everton has a great counterattack. Richarlison's quality, Gylfi's quality. Who is it? Calvert-Lewin?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's also quality, and he adds to that counterattack. I think they get one, but I think we scored 2. So I got 2-1 Chelsea.
You see, Everton, they've got a couple guys back healthy. I noticed I was watching their game earlier today. Allen, who used to be at Napoli, good midfielder, he was back for them. Hadn't really seen him playing for them recently until now. I think they've got one of the better midfields in the league with Allen, Decore, Andre Gomes. And then, like you said, danger men like Sigurdsson, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin. I think that this is going to be a tough game for Chelsea. And I don't think that they will lose again like they did against Everton earlier in the season. But I'm not going to pick them to win. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw.
Spicy. I'm going to flip Jake's prediction, and I'll say 2-1 Everton.
Okay.
Why? Because
you're a pussy.
I'll
answer it for you.
I like Everton this week. I think they're great. 2-1 Everton.
Fucking bitch.
All right. So, yeah, we'll see how the first week starts off for us as your defending champion, the people's champion looks to defend his crown.
Shut the fuck up.
All right, now we get to the most anticipated segment of the podcast. Our boy Sling takes us away with Sling Speaks.
So here's what's going on. There's not a whole lot going on. The Premier League, all the drama, all the on-field stuff going on. There's no drama. There's nothing happening, man. Like, y'all were boring this week. Y'all gave me no content. And honestly, I have no ranting to do this week. I have no one to jab at. No one was playing with themselves or doing anything weird. So, I don't know. However, I will remind you all, once again, turning 22 this week. Big 22. And I just wanted to go ahead and drop my Venmo for anyone watching, anyone listening or watching the podcast.
Do not Venmo him.
It is at Ryan_Sling. If you need help finding that, it is the same as my Twitter handle. Wink, wink. So there you go.
Help a friend
drink at the bars this weekend. And as always, Hail State.
help Sling black out for his 22nd birthday.
And boys, I just want to intervene real quick. Have we even said fuck Spurs this podcast?
I don't believe we. You know what? Let's do it on a little countdown. 3,
5.
2. Okay. Let's try that again. All right. 3, 2, 1. Fuck Spurs.
Fuck Tottenham.
Pretty sure
Spurs.
Sling will be behind because he's delayed, but yeah, it works out.
Close enough.
Regardless, fuck Spurs. All right. So before we get out of here, before we wrap up the pod, we got to do our usual winners and losers of the week. And I'm going to start us off because I have a big winner, a very surprising winner mentioned earlier in the podcast. Willian is my winner for the week. Arteta trusted him, brought him on for the Benfica game. He helped change the game. And then he put in his best performance in an Arsenal shirt over the weekend. Looked like he turned back the years. Looked like I was watching a prime Chelsea Willian against Leicester City. Helped us get that dub. And I don't know what he ate for breakfast, what he's been eating for breakfast the past week,
baby.
but he's continued to do that. And hopefully this run for him continues. Because, look, regardless of how much criticism, how much stick he's gotten, and it's rightfully so, obviously the abuse is not right, but all the criticism that he's getting is justified, or that he has been getting is justified. But as Arsenal fans, even when we criticize him, we'd love for him to shut us up and play good like he did this past week. So hopefully he can continue his good run of form.
Nice. I'll hop in with my winner. I'm gonna say one that also hits home for me. I'm gonna say Olivier Giroud for me is my winner. Obviously came up with that clutch goal against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League for us, and once again still proves why he is a very clinical striker. He hasn't gotten too much playing time in the Premier League games, but having him in that game was just, I think, personally, I still think he's our best striker that we have. At least his finishing, his aerial threat, and he scores that beautiful goal in that game. So he's my winner for this week. Hopefully he gets more playing time. Hell, let's play him again in the next leg against Atletico. Give him a little bit of PTSD.
What do you got, Sling? Who's your big winner of the week?
My big winner for the week was actually Willian as well. Like you said, I mean, this was a big week for him. The biggest he's had at Arsenal so far. I mean, another big win for him. I mean, he got to escape that small club of Chelsea.
That is true.
He's back into form, and I really like
joined the biggest club in London.
Do you hear something, Logan? Anyway,
I don't.
Biggest club in London. That's weird. What place are you on?
Shut the fuck up.
Who has more trophies? I don't know. Who has a history before 2004?
Damn. Are we living in the past right now? That's what
Chelsea
like.
fans weren't even born in 2004.
That's actually facts.
So, yeah. Willian is my biggest winner for the week.
Right, what do you got loser-wise?
This is a tough one.
I already fucking know who mine is. I'll go if you want me to, Sling.
Yeah, go ahead, Jake.
I mean, other than Jake is my biggest loser.
Good God.
Yeah, I mean, you do have a point. He was either leading or tied for the lead in the picks up until the final day.
It's tragic, fucking tragic.
Kind of like Manchester United when Man City stole the title from them. Whoa.
All right. Biggest loser from the pitch. We'll get back to this. Biggest loser from the pitch. Manchester United. Dog fuck showing. Just fuck them.
Damn. That's also who mine was going to be. Because fuck United. Literally hate watching them play. Just the most pussy shit I've ever seen. Especially against the Big Six. It's like, yeah, let's run up the score against these fucking shitty teams.
The English Atletico Madrid, except they're not top of the league. Like
actual fucking dog shit. I hate watching Man United play. So yeah, they're also my losers of this fucking week, even though, they didn't lose. They got a win and then a draw. But fuck them. They had
two draws. 2-0 draws.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because they
won the tie against Sociedad, but they didn't win the game.
Yeah.
My loser of the week is the team that Arsenal dominated over the weekend, Leicester City. It almost looks like it's happening again. Leicester City, it's happened again. Last season, like I said, they're in the top 4 the entire year. They're actually in second place for most of the season. And then the last day they dropped out of the top 4. ended up having to play Europa League football instead of Champions League football. I think it might not even last until the last day of this season. Which part of it is not their own fault. I mean, they're unlucky right now. Some of their best players are out injured, but still, they are not looking good at the moment. 2 L's during the week. You can lose to a team like Arsenal every now and then. I mean, shit happens. Arsenal's got even where we're at in the table, they've got a good squad, good quality players. But that loss against Slavia Prague, that's horrible to get bounced by them in the Europa League. And they're not looking good right now. And shout out to my boy Gutson. He became a Leicester fan recently, and I'm not going to say you're bad luck, Gutson, but they've kind of not been playing as great ever since you became a fan.
Yeah, way to go, Gutson.
Yeah, way to go, Scott Bubble. All right. So that pretty much wraps up the pod. Before we get out of here, let the people know what y'all learned this week. You know what? I know what I learned. I learned about 7 times this podcast that Sling has a birthday on Saturday. If you didn't know that, everyone, Sling does have a birthday on Saturday.
Shut the fuck up.
Didn't realize that before, but he made sure that everyone on the planet that listens to this pod knows. So thank you, Sling.
Eat a cock.
Okay. Let's say thank you. You told me to eat a cock. I will be asking for money from you on your birthday through your Venmo.
No, thank you.
Let's see. What did I learn? I think I learned that accounting is the worst fucking thing to ever exist. I'm taking accounting right now, and I'd rather blow my fucking brains out than do fucking accounting. So, that's what I fucking learned. I'm not learning accounting.
You're learning that it sucks.
Yeah, I'm learning that it fucking blows.
Sling, what'd you learn?
I learned I'm sexy as fuck.
So
I've never known that.
That's going to wrap up the podcast.
I learned that you're a freaking liar. That's what I learned.
You're a fucking asshole.
How about you give us something that actually makes sense?
Big fucking mean asshole is all you are.
What did you actually learn?
I mean, nothing really. I don't know.
That's what's up.
You learned nothing. Think of something, anything. All right, I guess we're going to have to come back to Sling next week, and he'll give us a double dose of what he learned because he's mentally not there. His mental capacity can't take this anymore. So we're going to have to wrap up the pod. Another week, another pod. Episode 6. They say episode 7 is the hump that you have to get over as when you're creating your pod. And we will get over that hump next week. We'll be back next week. Same day, same time. Monday evening releases here in the States. Very early morning Tuesday releases in the UK. Listen to it on your way to work. Listen to it at work. Listen to it whenever you're working out. Listen to it whenever you want.
In the bathroom.
If you enjoyed listening to the pod, and if you're still here with us, we'd really appreciate it if you gave us a 5-star review down below, or if you're listening to this on YouTube, like the video, give us a subscribe if you'd like to see more content. Like we said before, in the future, we are going to start uploading different content to YouTube, match reactions, match previews, stuff like that. Maybe even some forfeits from the picks. And then social media plug before we get out of here. We are on YouTube, like we just said, at Clueless Yanks. Our name on every platform is Clueless Yanks. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter at Clueless Yanks, TikTok at Clueless Yanks. So give us a follow there and interact with us. So had fun this week, and we will see you guys next week.
Catch y'all later.
Sayonara.
Take it easy, everyone.